Hey everybody, Jeff Garstka, Economic Development Director here at the city. Again, welcome to another Rocket in Reidsville show. We're excited about this episode. We try to mix up the topics, and a lot of times we try to do things that actually help our business community. So we are creating, in fact it's just about to go to press with some printed copies, but we've created a business resource guide. So folks who are starting a business for the first time, maybe they own a business and they want to adapt to some different things. Oftentimes they don't know where to start, and we get a lot of questions that somehow they find us, and the Chamber of Commerce does as well. So we wanted to have just a one-stop shop document that you can download, you can pick up a hard copy, and it basically tells you where the maze begins of navigating things like permitting. We try to make it not a maze, and that's the point of it. Is we want it just to be a linear process where we have access to so many resources. We do a lot of networking with other agencies at state, federal, local levels, and we do that on your behalf as a business. We build those relationships so that when you call us, all we have to do is turn you over to somebody or be the in-between person. So I am here with Donna Setliff. This is her Rocket in Reidsville debut. Donna is the Community Development Manager, which includes planning, zoning, GIS, mapping, and our inspections department. Donna's, I think, our longest current tenured employee, so she's a wealth of knowledge. And our work goes hand in hand as I'm helping companies grow and locate, and they have to go through the permitting process and zoning and all these kind of things, and oftentimes rezoning. So it can be confusing, and a lot of communities make it confusing, and we don't. We try to keep it simple. Our turnaround times are unheard of. There are places like Raleigh that if you submit site plan or building plans, it could be up to a year before they get back to you with comments. We have a 10 working day turnaround time for initial comments, and that can be the difference between whether we get a project or some other community who can't deliver it that quickly can, because when these companies are ready, they're ready to go immediately. But we're here really more to talk about kind of the small businesses who aren't as savvy with navigating the process. So in this resource guide, we basically just said start here, start with City Hall, or the Chamber, certainly they're part of this too. But start with City Hall because we can answer all of your initial questions. One of the biggest ones I get is, do I need a business license? Donna, tell us a little bit just about what you do and how you fit into this equation of getting businesses started.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for asking me to be on today. I appreciate it. Yes, our department, Community Development, is here to assist businesses in getting started, new businesses, relocating businesses. Probably the very first step that needs to be is just a phone call to us into Community Development, and just to make sure that the use of your business is allowed in the zoning district.
And we've seen people jump the gun on that.
Yes, we have. We've seen people jump the gun, and the type of business that they desire to be located at a certain location is actually not allowed. We're here to help you. If that's the case, our staff, myself, I have two frontline staff. They will work through some options, provide some options. Maybe it's not allowed in that district, but it's allowed in another district. So we want to help you in finding the right location that allows your business to be at that place, at that particular building. So that's kind of the first step, is just a simple phone call to the Department of Community Development. Once once the business owner does determine that it's a viable use for this location, then we do have some other steps they have to go through. Of course, one being, and that's actually applying for your zoning compliance permit. Okay, that's your official permit that says yes, zoning, I am approved through the zoning at this particular location. So it is seriously pretty much a one-page document. You fill out one side. You may or may not have to do a small site plan to go along with it, just to show the layout of the property, the parking, that kind of thing. It just depends. That could go either way in that situation. Once you've got that, our frontline staff will set up for your inspections. You do need an occupancy inspection for the for the building, and a fire inspection, but we will set those up right here in this department. You don't have to go anywhere else. Our frontline staff will make all the telephone calls, set it up, get an appropriate time for you, and they'll come out. Our inspectors and our fire marshal or a representative from the fire department will come out and actually do an occupancy inspection just to make sure everything is up to code and safe for you to be in that building. If there are some things that need to be done, then at that point it is between the business owner and the property owner, as to who takes care of them. Okay, once that's done, then we will be right back out. Just got to make another phone call to us and tell us that those things have been taken care of, and can you come do a follow-up inspection. Once you get that follow-up inspection from us, you are ready to roll. And that is when, of course, you mentioned the business license,
Right.
Jeff. The business license is not something that's issued out of our department. It is issued out of the finance department. So we, at that point, would recommend that you step downstairs. It's right down, almost under us where we're at now,
Right.
to our customer service windows, and those ladies in finance. There may be situations you need business license. There may not be situations. So they'll actually be the ones to help with that particular question.
Good.
Okay?
Yeah, that's the number one question I get. Do I need a license? And that goes back to, in professions like cosmetology, they have a license to be able to practice that.
Yes.
So it's a little different. We don't have a official pre-business license program. Essentially, when you go through the process and you're finished, you get your final go ahead. So you mentioned the inspectors and our staff, your staff, being able to set up these appointments. I will just say, we have 2 full-time inspectors. One is retiring tomorrow, Tim Warner, but he's been great. Neil McKinney has been taking his exams, and he's now a full-fledged licensed or
That is correct. He is, as of tomorrow, he will also be our lead codes inspector. So he has his certifications in all trades that he needs, both building, electrical, plumbing, mechanical. So he will be our lead tomorrow when he comes in the morning.
Very good. And in every community I've been in, sometimes the building inspectors are the scapegoat when somebody's not allowed to do something that's a life safety issue. And maybe in another state they say, well, I could do it there. Why can't I do it here? But here again, we're a focus on customer service and business friendly. These guys have to interpret an international building code that is, and there are some gray areas, which when we get to those gray areas, we really do try to at least be creative, think outside the box. Can we adapt to fit it rather than just saying, no, we're not here to turn business away. We want to help business grow.
That is exactly correct. Both on the zoning side and on the building side, both. We try to give individuals the options as what they can do, that kind of thing. And I can tell you our 2 guys, our 2 building inspectors, they will not hesitate to call the Raleigh. It's the Department of Insurances who actually certifies them. So they will call the Raleigh in a heartbeat if they have need any interpretation whatsoever to get that assistance. And they are very open to considering other options. Again, though, they are here to enforce the building, and it is for the business owners and the property owners' safety. But I can't stress how much they will, they'll call Raleigh in a heartbeat to get an interpretation or get assistance, or even, help them with options for their business or, issue, whatever is going on.
Yeah, and I know our inspectors have really had to adapt and be flexible and learn new things. We, for the first time, now have apartments under construction in a downtown building, and that's not something they've inspected recently or ever. So learning how to work with folks who want to do a project that we may not be familiar with. Farmina Pet Foods is going to break ground later this summer We don't have a pet food manufacturing facility, so it's a totally different approach to the inspections, but learning to do apartments and all these different things. So again, it's very flexible. So you mentioned that we'll set up the appointments. How long does it take to get an appointment? Weeks?
Absolutely not. We are very proud of our turnaround. We strive to get your inspection done within 24 hours or less. Of course, understanding if you call us late in the afternoon, it's gonna be the next day, of course. But if you call us early enough in the morning, we're gonna do our best to get you that day. It may be the next day. As you said, as of tomorrow morning, I do have a staff person that's retiring. So that, I hate to say that's going to slow us down, but I'm being honest with you.
Sure.
It may slow us down just a small bit. But
it's not going to slow us down any slower than our competitors.
That is exactly right. It's not going to be a week. At max, it's going to be the next day.
Very good.
So we are very proud of our record for that. And you mentioned something earlier, and I'll just kind of play off of that just a little bit. Our site plan review. If you're a new business in here and you're not locating into an existing building that we have, and you are starting from scratch, building your building, from ground up, we are also very proud about our 10-day turnaround. You will not find that in other locations. Greensboro, Raleigh, Charlotte, the larger areas, you're not going to find that turnaround time. We have a lot of outside developers and contractors that come in, and when we say we have a 10-day turnaround, they're like, really? So I can't stress, we are very proud of that turnaround time that we strive very hard to meet here in our department and throughout the city, because we do have others, Public Works and Fire both, that also review the plans that come in. So I got to say about them too. So, but yes, we do our best to be very customer friendly. We want development, and we want to help as much as we possibly can to get that development in Reidsville.
That's true. Now I recall a recent example when Harbor Freight bought a former bowling alley on Freeway Drive. They were very great to work with. They had a developer and an out-of-town contractor, and all they asked up front was, can we just go as fast as your process allows? And every time a question was answered from your department, we got an immediate response that was like, you guys are great to work with. I mean, it was such a good partnership. That's a really good example. And again, we've not had to deal with a converted bowling alley into a retail store. So it was,
That's
again,
correct.
a totally different process that yourself and the inspectors just learn along the way, but know exactly what we're doing.
Yes. Our inspectors, they have to do continuing ed credits. So they are back in school every year. They are required to do this. So they're continually in school, just with new code changes, and the codes change, and that's what their continuing ed is for, and that is to help them keep up to date. And you were very correct a few minutes ago when you were saying we have a few apartments that have been downtown, but that is something that's relatively new for us. So we are researching that constantly to make sure that we are informing the tenants, the occupants, business owners, owner of the property, whoever it may be. And again, as I said just a few minutes ago, we will call Raleigh, and they'll call Raleigh in a heartbeat to get a good understanding of what the code is, if it's not cut and clear to them.
Right. Well, very good. Well, again, just to wrap up, so you'll start seeing our new business resource guide. Again, it'll be on rocketinreidsville.com. That we'll have some printed copies here at City Hall, also at the Chamber of Commerce, and thanks to them for partnering on this little endeavor. So look out for that, and we'll also have links from there to some other resources that are supplementary, things like how to start a business plan, top 10 marketing tips, do's and don'ts, those sorts of things, very helpful information. There's also free resources out there. SCORE, which is a national organization of current and retired entrepreneurs who coach and mentor small businesses, oftentimes startups. Lucky City Brewing partnered up with one of their volunteers, and probably wouldn't be where they are without that. Also the Rockingham Community College Small Business Center, They have someone there who does essentially the same thing, a staff person. They also have resume writing classes and business plan writing classes. So, again, we have access to the resources that you probably didn't know about out there. So call us first. Call City Hall. Call the Chamber of Commerce. And Donna, thank you. That was super informative.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at the next segment.